Lesson 17, rounding and estimating. Some might ask the question, how do I round correctly? So there are some rules you can look at. You have the poster on the left-hand side, rounding rules. So first find the rounding place and circle it. Step 2, go next door and underline the digit. So you gotta go to the right. Step 3, ask 4 or less or 5 or more. And if you say it's 4 or less, you let it rest. So you keep it the same. If it's 5 or more, you raise the score, so it means you go up 1. Step 4, change all the numbers to the right of the circle to 0. Now if you're rounding, here you can see this one, you have a decimal, round to the whole number, you round to 1 decimal place, you round it to 2 decimal places. You can see they're always looking at the digit to the right of the decimal place, so 3 decimal places. So they're looking at this 1. They have to look at 5. 5 tells you to move up, so that's why it's 3.732. So let's take a look at some examples here. Round 1,481,362 to the nearest 100,000. I want to find out which digit is the 100,000th place. So the 100,000th place would be that 4. So I have to look at this 8. This 8 is bigger than 5, so I need to round that 4 up to 5. So it'd be 1,500,000. That would be the nearest 100,000. 3.14159 to 2 decimal places. So I have these 2 decimal places. The next place is that 1. So what does that tell you to do with the 4? I keep it the same. So it would be 3.14. In 2000, the population of Dallas was 1,188,580. Round that number to the nearest 100,000. So I need to round this 1 off. This 8 tells you I need to bump it up to 200,000. So it would be 1,200,000 people. And then round 3.14159 to 4 decimal places. So I'm going to underline 4 decimal places. The 9 tells you what to do with that 5. Since 9 is more than 5, I need to round up the next digit. So it would be 3.1416. Next one, round each to the nearest whole number. So here, when you look at fractions, if it's half, the fraction is half or more, then you bump it up to the next whole number. If it's less than half, you keep it to the same whole number. So 13 and 5/12. Well, half of 12 is 6. So 5/12 is less than half. So this would keep it stay at 13. 13.512. That's a little bit more than halfway. So I would bump this up to 14. The price of regular unleaded gasoline was $2.19 and 9/10. Round the price to the nearest cent. So if we were to round that to the nearest cent, we would bump this up to $2.20. Because 9/10 is more than halfway there to 20 cents, so we bump it up to 20 cents. Estimate the sum of 3,879 and 5,276. When you're estimating the sum, we need to round our 2 numbers first and then add them. So 3,879 and 5,276. We can round each of them to the nearest 1,000 and then add them together. So 3,879 is closer to 4,000 than it is to 3,000. 5,276 is closer to 5,000. If I add those 2 together, I get 9,000. Estimate the product of 12 and 3/8 and 9.75 by rounding each number to the nearest whole number before multiplying. So 12 and 3/8 is closer to 12 because 3/8 is less than halfway. And 9 and 75 hundredths is closer to 10. So 12 times 10 would give me 120. Next one, Ivan wants to tile the floor of a kitchen that is 12 feet long and 8 feet wide. The installed tile is $7.89 per square foot. Ivan calculates that the cost to tile the floor is $315.60. Is Ivan's calculation reasonable? We can determine if it's reasonable by just estimating the total cost. And so we can round $7.89 to the nearest dollar per square foot. So we would say that's about $8 per square foot. And how many square feet is the floor? We would take 12 times 8. 12 times 8 would give you 96. So you got 96 square feet. And so if we have $8 per square feet, and we would do 8 times 96. And 8 times 96, well, we can easily estimate that 96 square feet would be about 100 square feet. Multiply that by $8 a square foot, that would be roughly $800. Is his calculation reasonable? No, it's too low. Next one, a rectangular room is 11 3/4 feet long and 10.5 feet wide. Grace calculated the area to be about 124 square feet. Explain why her calculation is or is not reasonable. So let's estimate the room's dimensions. So 11 3/4 is about 12. 10.5 feet is about 11. So if you do the multiplication, that would be about 132 square feet. And Grace calculated the area to be about 124 square feet. Well, since we bumped up both of the dimensions, we would say that yes, her answer is about reasonable, because right now, just by estimating it, we are only 8 square feet away, but we bumped both dimensions up. So the actual one will be a little bit less than 132. So that's why her calculations are reasonable. And the last two problems. Richard is paid $11.85 per hour. About how much money does he earn in a year? 52 weeks. If he works 40 hours per week. You know this is an estimation problem because it says about how much. So we could take $11.85 and bump that up to about $12. So let's just say he gets paid $12 per hour and he earns, but how much would he earn in a year if he works 40 hours per week? So 12 times 40, that would give you $480 a week. And then let's just say 52 weeks. So let's just say that, just round that to 50. We multiply that. We got 0, 40, 2, 20, 24. So you're talking about $24,000 he would earn per year. And the last question. Gus works 39 hours for $9.85 per hour. He calculates that his weekly paycheck should be $38,415. What is a reasonable estimate of what Gus earns? And how do you think Gus got his estimate? So first off, let's move 39 hours to 40 hours and $9.85 to $10. So that would be $10 times 40 would be $400 he would get for that week. How do you think Gus got his estimates? Well, he thought it would be $38,415. He may have put the decimal or forgot to put the decimal in, and he could have done 39 times 985 to get a little bit different because he is almost 100 times bigger than what his actual paycheck would be.